All right, I want to take you now to Kiev to give you an idea of how the power situation is affecting average Ukrainians. For that, I'm joined by Peter Zalmayev, the director of Eurasia Democracy Initiative. It's good to see you again, Peter. It's been a while. I just wanted you to give people a sense of what life is like without electricity and the impacts that has, water and so on. How is it impacting the average Ukrainian civilian?
Well, right now, it's been getting much better, and the folks in charge of our electrical system are, telling us that very soon they will be able to restore the system to pretty much what full capacity. It's not full capacity. Let's say 80% capacity. Some streets remain in dark in Kiev at night. Some are pretty lively. Those restaurants that have generators, have plenty of customers, and obviously during the day, people are huddling in cafes, they're co-working simply because many of them still don't have electricity. Most have had their water restored to them. There's also another phenomenon since, early October when Russia started these attacks on our electrical system, and that is, the increase of traffic accidents. Drivers are coping with the new reality. They're learning how to drive pretty much in the dark. You see accidents, throughout the city, when it gets dark.
Yeah, and of course the crucial thing is, winter approaches. Tell us about, and you touched on this, the cafes, what the government is calling, I think, invincibility points, where heat and Wi-Fi are put on for people, run by generators. How are they helping people? And I guess, do they add to a sense of community?
Yeah, that's precisely, you just hit the nail on its head with that question. They are operating about 70 to 80% capacity. There have been some problems. Zelensky actually lashed out at Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev, saying that, please be honest and straightforward. If there are problems, tell us about it. So they're still learning on the go, but they're coming online, all these centers which you mentioned. I haven't used them yet, so I have to go and at some point and find out how well functioning they are. But, the bottom line is that, yes, this is a new experience, and it will be a new experience of community, which we haven't had. People huddling together, working and learning to get along, to keep their emotions in check. These are very, very hard times. But, I was talking to a friend of mine just the other day, and he said, treat it like a virus, a bad, nasty flu, Russia, and what they're doing to us. You just have to be strong. You cannot allow it to go chronic, but spring will come and we will overcome this virus.
Yeah, because and to the point that you're making there is little doubt, there's no doubt really, one of the Russian aims is to break the will of the Ukrainian people. I mean, Mr. Zelensky calls it a crime against humanity. But how strong is the will of the people? What do you say to those who say that Putin's trying to break that will?
Well, first of all, you're precisely correct. NATO Parliamentary Assembly, the European Parliament, in short order, last week designated Russia state sponsor of terrorism. And Russian officials, Peskov, who is the spokesman of Vladimir Putin, have pretty much come out and said straightforward, if Ukrainians want to live a normal life, they know what to do. They have to come to the negotiating table on our terms, and we will talk. They pretty much acknowledge that terrorism is the way to go. They're not able to achieve military victory, and so they're resorting to terrorizing us. I'll just tell you, I have there's not a single Ukrainian I've spoken to who said, what, maybe this time we talk to Putin. I mean, it's just the spirit to fight and resist is simply overwhelming, and it's universal.
Yeah, and you've been telling me that from the very beginning when we first spoke way back in February. And speaking of February, when I was there in Ukraine, it was so bitterly cold. If these attacks continue for months to come, this targeting of energy infrastructure, one imagines lives could be lost. I mean, the Ukrainian winter is a brutal one.
It is. Well, right now it's 0 centigrade or -1. We haven't hit the worst yet. Russians obviously are just, positioning their new barrage of missiles in order. Our government officials are telling us to prepare next week. So, it's not out of the question that they'll be able to cast us into complete darkness at some point when it's like the coldest. They're probably biding their time when the centigrade is a little bit, further down. But, Ukrainians are a resilient lot. A lot of us have relatives in the countryside. They have wood stoves and we'll just cope. Londoners coped during the Blitz. The Soviets, including Russians and Ukrainians, coped during World War II, and we shall cope in 2022.
As I say, I first spoke to you when this invasion began back in February. The will of the people is unbroken, as is yours. Always good to see you, my friend. Peter Zalmayev, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael.